I would like to invite Mr. Harbir Singh, CEO, PMStimes, to honor all our distinguished dignitaries and our eminent speakers. I would request him to please be on the stage. I would like to invite on stage Mr. Vishal Narayan Sharma, VBH Times Group, and I would request Mr. Singh to honor him. Can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much. I would like to invite on stage Mr. Anil Rigo, the founder CEO, Right Horizons. And I would request Mr. Harbir Singh once again to honor him with a flower bouquet. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. I would now like to invite on stage Gurvinder Janeja ji, the founder and CEO, Fortuna Advisors. Please put your hands together. Thank you. I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Deepak Shenoy, the founder CEO, Capital Mind Wealth. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Iqbal Singh, founder and MD, Innovative Financial Management. Can we have a big round of applause, please? Thank you very much, gentlemen, for gracing this amazing evening with your presence. And we would like to thank our sponsor, a special thanks to MediaVox. And Mr. Harbir Singh, I would not excuse you, so I would request him to go for the welcome address, say a few words to the audience.
Thanks, Shireen, and that was a lovely beginning to the evening, and thank you so much for it. Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Harbir Singh, CEO of PMStimes, and on behalf of my entire team, I would take this opportunity to welcome you all to this evening called PMStimes Consonance, which is the 4th edition that we are having now. This is a small knowledge session that we've started for people who are looking to invest and investment being the really difficult subject nowadays, with the markets being at all-time highs, falling 8-9% in a day. So what better to learn from industry experts like Deepak, Anil, Iqbalji, Gurvinderji, who day in and day out deal with the markets. So over the next 1.5 hours, our dignitaries and speakers would run us through various subjects and topics like how to future-proof yourself and your businesses, economics of coalition, surge in the Indian economy in the quant and AI/ML era, and finally transcending into unlocking our business valuations through going public. So I won't take any more of your time. I welcome you all to this evening, and I hope you all enjoy and carry home some inspirational and important and relevant information which helps you all in running your day-to-day businesses, and also helps every one of us tonight walk away with some wealth creation ideas. Thank you so much, and let's have a great evening full of knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harbir Singh ji. That was the CEO of PMStimes. Thank you so much for inspirational words and, of course, the welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to invite on stage Mr. Varun Pal, the founder, Simplifiers and PMStimes, to deliver his presentation. So can we have a please big round of applause for Mr. Varun Pal. Thank you.
Sorry for the interruption. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I hope it's not been a long wait before we started. PMStimes. So, आप सभी लोग invest करते हैं. We are all investors here. How many of us understand what PMS is? One, two. So not many in the audience. 3, 4, 5. Some more hands. 6, 7. So not many in the audience. So I'll just take a minute to explain what a PMS is actually. So PMS is managing your portfolio of stocks, wherein a separate demat account is opened in an agreement with a fund manager. You hand over the power of attorney to the fund manager, where he trades stocks in your demat account on your behalf to generate returns from your portfolio. So PMS एक अलग product है as compared to any other investment product, wherein you can invest in stocks directly with the help of a learned fund manager who's taking care of your wealth. So this is one product which is not very popular, or people are not much aware about it in the market. So we thought, why not bring it to the table and help people understand. So now I'm bringing a product to the table, and I'm also going to present on a topic called wealth beyond products. So why not to choose products and still create wealth while we as a platform bring products to the table. So what PMStimes is all about, I've just started with that. What we do is we bring a lot of relevant data for you to decide on what to buy, when to buy, and how to buy. This is from across around 150 plus PMS houses and AIF houses. We have around 450 plus PMS houses listed in India, so we are tied up with 150 plus of them, and we bring this data for you. Now, data is very, very important, but how many of us think that you need help in interpreting that data? Now, data is of various types. Everyone is publishing data. We go to internet, there is a lot of data available there. Which one is relevant? Which one do we need? Which one is helpful to you? How do we, understand that? For that, you need people from the industry who help you understand what is important and what are only jargons. There are many data points which are actually not even required but are still published, because they look, you'll have a much more bigger control over your portfolio. आपके एडवाइजर को, आपके वेल्थ मैनेजर को, आपके प्रोडक्ट सप्लायर को आपको समझाना है, डिसाइड आपको करना है. सो कंट्रोल आपके पोर्टफोलियो के ऊपर आपका होना चाहिए. That is it. Thank you so much for being patient listeners. I'll not take much of your time, and I'll ask Shireen to take it forward from here. Thank you so much.
Sir, what is the definition of discipline in this case?
Okay, so the definition of discipline can be once you found a product, right? So the whole idea will be have a asset class. Asset class के अंदर product कौन सा लेना है वो ढूंढना है. Maybe a stock, maybe a real estate, whatever it is. मिलने के बाद उसका बेंचमार्क सेट करना है. बेंचमार्क सेट करने का परफॉर्मेंस मेजर करनी है, एंड इफ इट इज डूइंग वेल स्केल अप, इफ इट इज नॉट डूइंग वेल स्केल डाउन, उसे बेच दो, बाहर निकलो, फाइंड समथिंग एल्स. और ये प्रोसेस बार बार रिपीट करनी है. ये डिसिप्लिन है. इवन इफ यू फाउंड 100x sort of a stock, don't get carried away by the return. Stick to your process. If you got stuck in a stock which is not working due to any fundamentals, or if you got stuck in a property जो नहीं चल रही है, लॉस पे बेचो, आगे चलो. टाइम सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि मैं इस पैसे को यहाँ से निकाल के कहीं और डाल के पैसा बना लूंगा, there is no reason you should be sticking there, and the process only says that is what we mean by scale down. अगर कुछ अच्छा नहीं कर रहा, there can be many reasons, and बहुत सारी चीजें अच्छी होने के बाद भी मार्केट में अच्छा नहीं करती हैं. तो फैक्ट है कि अच्छा नहीं कर रहा है. I'll take an example. Gold 2013 से लेके 19 तक बिल्कुल नहीं चल रहा था. So अगर उस टाइम भी आप गोल्ड खरीद के बैठे हो तो कोई फायदा नहीं. If the cycle is not helping, just move out of it, put that money somewhere else. Once the cycle starts, come back. So इस चीज को रेगुलरली करना है सर, and that is the discipline. पूरी जिंदगी करना है, वही डिसिप्लिन है, and that is how we create wealth. Thank you so much.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Many individual investors they are taking help of AI to take the decision. So how you see the future of AI in
Sir, AI is, I'm sorry, but I'll just answer this question, otherwise फिर सारा लंबा हो जाएगा, so I'll just answer this question. Rest we can take during the panel discussion, but okay, I'll answer this question. So AI, yes, is going to disrupt the industry and is going to help you understand what is more important in data. But AI also has its restrictions. AI is going to predict the future only based on the data which is available to it as per the last trend. If the trend is going to change, it is going to be very tough for AI to predict how the trends are going to change, right? So it can only give you a line which is in continuation of the dots plotted by the past performances. So that is what AI will give to you, but still आज की डेट में there are thousands of parameters जिसके ऊपर businesses को monitor किया जाता है. अब उन thousands को manually possible नहीं है compare करना amongst the businesses in the same sector. So then AI and ML help you do that. Maybe if there are thousands of parameters, you can scale it down to 10 by AI और उन 10 पे फिर आप human intelligence लगा सकते हो. I hope I was able.
As portfolio management manager, do you use AI?
Yes, sir, we do.
All right, Mr. Pal, I would request you to please stay back. And I would also request everyone, you might be having thousands of questions. It's anyway about money, of course, doubling the money, tripling the money. So please write down the questions in your notepad, whatever is given to you in front. And we can have all the questions during the panel discussion after that, and probably when we are going to be having the networking during the dinner time. All right, and I would request, of course, we are very honored and privileged to have along with us our President CICU, Mr. Upkar Singh Ahuja. I would request him to please be on the stage, and I would request Mr. Paul to honor him with the flower bouquet. I would also request Mr. Ahuja, I would request you to say a few words, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for attending this session. I am new to this, so I can't waste your time sharing my wisdom. It is better to listen from the experts. Thank you very much.
Mr. Varun Paul to be on the stage once again. And I would like to invite on stage Mr. J.R. Singhal. Singhal, sorry. Mr. J.R. Singhal. And I would request him to please be on the stage. I would request Mr. Paul to honor him with a flower bouquet. Mr. Singhal, I would request you to say a few words.
So I just want to thank sir because I think J.R. Singhal ji need not require any introduction in Ludhiana. So I just requested him to be here with us. So he was there. He's there on time. Thank you very much, sir.
Today is the time for me to listen and be quiet. Thank you.
Well, it says like, whenever you want to learn something, the first thing is that, you listen a lot and then probably you deliver. So of course, we're going to be learning a lot. We're going to be listening a lot from the industry expert, and let's do the needful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 4th edition of PMS Consonance happening in Ludhiana, of course at your city, 2024. Now it is the time for the presentation. And presentation, we have the topics. I would also request, if you have any questions after the presentation, please do not ask the speaker immediately. You can write the questions, and then the speaker during the dinner networking will be able to answer all your questions. And also they will be having a panel discussion, so you'll be actually having all the speakers once again in the panel, so you can have your questions after the panel discussion. I would like to invite on stage Mr. Anil Rigo to present on the topic Future-Proof Your Business. How exactly we do it? Let's listen. Sir.
Yeah, good evening. I was a little nostalgic when I drove in from Chandigarh to Ludhiana, and I saw some of the brands that we grew up with. Right, so it's wonderful to be here in the city. In fact, not only that, I also one of the stocks I invested maybe many decades back. Right, Naha spinning was something that I also ended up seeing. So it was really good to refresh some of those memories. So today, we run a PMS business, but I thought, what is it that I can do which I can sort of give value adds to you? Right? And I said, let me not talk about PMS. There are a lot of learnings that we ourselves have by working with companies, studying them, looking at trends and stuff. And there's one thing that is sort of close to heart when I'll come back and go through it, and probably at the end you will see why. Because why not we can make multinational companies, right, from the businesses. So as part of that is about how do you future-proof your business. So that's all I'm talking about, is your business. And it's also about family, because we do things a little differently in India, and is there something that we can learn from globally, right? There are best practices out there. So I hopefully give you examples, case studies, stories, okay, and give a fresh perspective about maybe any triggers. So I think if you can go home and say, there may be these one or two thoughts and it troubles you and you have a sleepless night, okay, then I'm successful in what I've done. Okay, so how do you bring structure to your business? I think so some of those are very important questions, and separating your business and family wealth. Okay, so some of these points I will spend some time on. When we talk about family business, right, we always say, small company think, right? It's a small, mid-sized, etc. Right, but what's interesting, okay, if you look at family businesses, and this is a 2023 survey, so these data will be of companies in terms of revenue as of 22, right? And all of these are family businesses. Okay, I was happy to see Reliance in the top 10, right? So our own, so this is something for us to also think about, right? Can we make the next Reliance? Okay, and of course I still believe that maybe Reliance would have gone much further, right? If we followed certain principles, in terms of best practices, what people follow globally in terms of family businesses. And if you look at it, almost like 8.02 trillion of revenues from the top 500 family enterprises globally. This is a University of Gallup did a survey on that, and they actually, with ENY, they run a report on family businesses. And what's the worrying part? Right? And this is a point that, and this is why I'm saying, I want to say that this is close to heart. Only 30% of family businesses make it through the second generation. Okay? And that's a big point of concern, only 30%. Right? And successfully, because what happens down the line is, maybe the children are not able to take it forward from us. Okay? And I also come back in what you can do maybe to change that, and that's what will give me great satisfaction. The other is 10 to 15% of family business goes through the third generation. Okay? And it all breaks down when it comes to the fourth. Right? And we can make out, because what happens, children, then in-laws, then, as it goes down, it becomes more complicated. Okay? Now this is the situation. But I went back and I said, okay, which are the businesses and how many generations? 46 generations. Can you imagine? Okay? Businesses have lasted that. And it's not magic. Okay? There's something that they've done. Again, if you go back and see, you'll see a lot of them. You go and Google search and stuff. Japan, Germany, many European countries actually have done very well because they made it a science. Okay, and some of it, of course, they kept it small. Some of them really made it big, and we saw that the top guys are really, really big. Okay, and the point is, how do we make a business which can last many generations? Now, what do we do in India? You give responsibility to them, right? So, and they will learn. And actually, she did very good. Well, she's done overseas studies. She's done a course. She went to that University of Gallon, right, and did 1 week there in family business. So I said, why not you do that, right? So how do we make that happen? Then the last is wealth governance, right? A lot of the time, the family wealth, how do I ensure I run it? It could be individual, it could be collective, maybe partially, maybe hybrid. And so I start thinking about all of these things too. Then conflict doesn't come. The thing is such that conflict will never ever come in if we do it. And so what I'm saying is, today it's just like a CEO, there's family, there's firm, there's no line. I'm saying, why not we try this? Family, I'm still saying is supreme, but can we create a family constitution? Okay, then that family then oversees the board, right? Or gives its inputs to the board, because then in the end, it's their decision, right? Because it's their money, it's their company. Then the CEO reports to the board, then the firm and employees, to create a proper line, right? And the last point I'm saying is about separation of business, from the family, the wealth, right? So it's, and a lot of us, everything is only in the business. Tomorrow if the business is in difficulty, what happens? I have to go and take a loan, I have to do something else. So we should start also building. It's okay, it may be lower return than my business, that's fine. But I'm managing risk. Tomorrow when the business needs it, I have money to put in. I don't have to go borrow it. Okay, and it's a diversification. It creates security for my family. Before I started my business, I said I have to build a corpus for my family, and then I will start. I don't want to put my family to risk. Okay, once I did that, then I said, okay, I set myself a goal of retiring from corporate life by 35. I was working in the pro, and I said by 35 I will quit and start something. Before that, I'll build a corpus. I did it at 30. I came out and I started Right Horizons. Okay, so that's the thing that I'm saying. How, and that, even if it went bad, my family was not at a disadvantage. I think we owe it to that, right? So how do we start looking at investment separate and and building wealth there? Now again, as it goes larger, the family should not always be, at my mercy, at somebody's mercy in the future. Will they give me money? Will they not? How do we give them security? How do we give them safety? How do we give them freedom? Right? Give that thing, and then it also happens and thing. Then how do I do estate planning and stuff? So, and then of course I say, how can we help you? Of course, we have a family office offering, which we actually capture. The first part of it is all business support. Okay, most of it is nothing to do with investments. Like the second part of it is on investments. I have a team member who has come in, so I have to talk at least. We have a PMS. In fact, many of the strategies are all top ranking and stuff, because we're saying how do we continue to have process, how do we improve, how do we see what is the new things happening even within our business, and that gets us there. But the point and the conversation I'm having with you is that, yes, all of it comes with how we can grow our business, and what I would like to see is how many MNCs, we can actually see from Ludhiana. Right, so I leave you with that thought. How many of us can aspire to say, I'll build a business which will go past 10 generations? Okay, it's not just my lifetime, and it goes further and further. Thank you. I think we said questions afterwards, so yeah, please.
All right. Thank you so much, Anil sir. That was indeed amazing. Now I would like to invite on stage to deliver his presentation, Mr. Gurvinder Singh Janeja, the founder CEO for Fortuna Advisors, and his presentation would be on economics of correlation.
Good evening, Sat Sri Akal. The topic for today that I have been given is the most hot topic. The government has just changed. We've had a very long election, and we like companies which are well-run banks. We like private banks. We think they are substantially well positioned for good quality growth. And you see on the right, in the last 10 years, the earnings have gone up 4x. And when the balance sheet is clean, earnings should drive consistent stock returns, right? Similarly, in insurance. Insurance historically and traditionally worldwide, the largest company, amongst the largest companies globally are insurance companies. And that's for a good reason, because it takes a large scale to run a substantial book in insurance. Many companies in India are now public. 4 life insurance companies are public, plus LIC. There are 2 health insurance companies, 2 general insurance companies now public. 2 more are coming. Care Insurance is coming with an IPO. Go Digit just went into an IPO. So there is large opportunity in this space. It has seen a lot of regulatory challenges, and you still find reasonable pockets of investments here. Our view is, in the next 20 years, India will have amongst the world's few biggest insurance companies. This is a multi-scale growth opportunity, because you cannot run this on a small scale. Infrastructure, of course, we know this government has done a lot of work on roads, railways, and not only that, we focus on digital infrastructure. Look at the digital infrastructure India has managed to build, right? It's amongst the best, and it's amongst the cheapest, right? What does that mean? Tomorrow, a lot of our work will happen on eKYC, e-authentication, digital credit. The paperwork that it takes today is going to go away. And this is a large opportunity. This is an area for our grandchildren. 2 generations from now, public digital infrastructure companies, eMudra, Protean, should be the ones that create substantial wealth, and the market doesn't realize it. So this is a pocket that we see that should build wealth for the investors. In manufacturing, we all keep hearing about Make in India, exports, opportunity, and import substitution. There are areas, we see a lot of good companies in auto ancillaries, we see a lot of strong companies in industrials. In capital goods, we find a lot of companies have run up. So that's a pocket that we are very careful of, but there's still value amongst auto and industrial companies that we track. And I think the last thing that I'm going to focus on is what happened to IT services in India in 1990 to early 2000s is going to happen to India in contract manufacturing and research in pharma, agrochem, and chemicals. It is just the beginning. There are substantially well-run companies with strong capabilities, with global innovators, large innovators as their customers, who can reduce the cost of innovation for these companies by a substantial 30 to 40%. And that's the value we see. We see a large number of companies here doing well, whether it be Syngene, Laurus Labs. There are a few more, right? I want to summarize that, I think this is fine. I want to summarize that ultimately markets are correlated with what the economy does. As long as we have a 5-year government, we are okay, unless we see surprises. Of course, we'll keep our eyes open. Coalition governments do not necessarily mean weaker growth. You saw that irrespective of the coalition or majority government, growth remained in a reasonable band. And India has very stable macro and growth across industries. It's not dominated by only a select set of companies or sectors. Markets in India will continue to attract flows, and that's an important point. Not only Indian flows, but also foreign flows. Ultimately, earnings growth is what we will go after. Will drive disproportionate market returns. It's not a question of market returns. If we identify the right companies with earnings growth, we will have disproportionate market returns, and I think we are positioned for it. Right? There are expensive pockets, and we must avoid them, and there are several of them in these markets. Ultimately, attractive investments are possible if we are careful, if we do our groundwork, if we work enough on specific themes, on sub-sectors and so on, to find opportunities. Just a minute, because some of my team is here and I want to just outline ourselves. We run a fund that's a very fundamental PMS, fundamental analysis driven PMS. I'm joined by Jasmine, who's here as a partner. Our third partner, Vishal Khandelwal, is based in Bombay, and he's a very well-known value investor. He runs a very successful portal called Safal Niveshak, and very well tracked not only in India but globally. You can check him on Twitter or I think Twitter, YouTube, and so this is the core team that does this analytical work. Ultimately, we believe in each of the themes that we work on, and we just put 7 of them. We have a few more of them. We are finding opportunities if we work hard. We are finding opportunities if we remain rational, and we are finding opportunities if once we have the conviction, we are willing to put the investment money on the table, right? And wait patiently for the thesis to work. I think these are those markets where blind investments or without enough work investments may actually lead to losses with the numbers that we are at. But strong work should, in our opinion, give good returns to investors. I think I'm out of my time. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Juneja. That was indeed amazing. And his topic was, of course, on economics of coalition. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to invite now on stage to deliver his presentation, Mr. Deepak Shenoy, the founder CEO, Capital Mind Wealth. Capital Mind has moved beyond conventional utilizing advanced analytics and systematic factor-based strategies to innovate and, of course, investment management. Mr. Shenoy is an entrepreneur, author, fund manager, and forever a student of the financial market, and call him, of course, an industry expert. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me welcoming Mr. Deepak Shenoy, the founder and CEO of Capital Mind Wealth. And his presentation would be on surging India and a little bit on market quant and AIML. Thank you very much. Can you please put your hands together?
Awesome. Thank you so much. Great to be here in Ludhiana. I am Deepak Shenoy. If any one of you has seen me on Twitter, I talk too much on Twitter. But I am also founder and CEO at Capital Mind Wealth. This is my first time here. It's a little hot here compared to Bangalore, but I think hot is good because the hot brings the cold and the rain as well. We are PMS in Bangalore. We manage about 2,000 crores. 2 specific strategies. 2 हैं हमारे पास जो हम manage करते हैं. एक, we have a quantitative based strategy. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the beginning, and then talk a little more on Surging India. So we have about 1,000 customers. We have 2 fund managers. One of the things that we always believed, we're all engineers, so बहुत math किया हुआ है हमने, and a lot of times with this AI, ML and everything that is taught to us said कि कंप्यूटर खुद ही करेगा. हमने 5 साल पहले स्टार्ट किया ये इन्वेस्टिगेट करना कि अगर कंप्यूटर खुद ही कर सकता है तो why not? Why don't we stay one level above and tell the computer कि आप determine करो what can be done. We found out this is not new. The world has already done it in many ways. So we followed those ways and we built what are called quantitative strategies. So one of our strategies, जिसमें हम 900 crore manage करते हैं, is a quantitative strategy that uses an algorithm which we built and automatically buys and sells stocks. But to do this, we had to follow some kind of philosophy and factors to understand. So मैं थोड़ा सा आपको, I'll take you through what it means to invest in a quantitative fashion. अभी तक तो हमारे पास दूसरी strategy है जहाँ पे हम companies को देखते हैं, हम management से मिलते हैं and all that. But this is different. This is not about meeting management. This is not about talking to people about this. It's just using the data. The data will produce the math will select the stocks will be invested in by the market. We have run this strategy for 5.5 years now. little more than little less than 5.5 years. Nearly 28 odd % CAGR. So there is something in it. Let's see what it is. So in the past, बहुत पहले अगर आप देखते हैं तो usually market ही ऊपर जाता था. सिर्फ अगर आप stock market में इन्वेस्ट करो, market ऊपर जाता था. That was a good thing. Slowly people started to evolve to say कि market अगर ऊपर जाता है तो एक चीज़ है, लेकिन हमने market से ज़्यादा चाहिए. That was alpha. तो आप किस तरह से market से ज़्यादा दोगे? निफ्टी तो दे ही रहा है 14%, आप कैसे मुझे निफ्टी से ज़्यादा दोगे? So people started investigating how can you invest more and get more than the market. The research then evolved even further कि market एक तरह से return देती है. And then there are certain things called factors and we'll go into that a little bit. ये factors जो हैं ये भी returns देती हैं. और उसके ऊपर आपका जो alpha है, alpha active return, residual alpha is the active return. Now what we are talking about now as specifically here is the factor return, the concept of quantitative investing. Traditional investing is very different. हम एक तरह से analogy ले तो I did not understand this by the way until my wife bakes. So I understand now the difference between cooking and baking. Cooking में आप कुछ भी कर दो, थोड़ा सा और नमक डाल दिया. This has done reasonably well even in the back. अगर हम क्योंकि formula हम पीछे भी लगा सकते हैं. We can use past data and put it. And we have been able to do that. Okay, so I'll end with this. This is just a minute. I think as we grow, this is we have another strategy called Surge, where we're talking about how India is surging. The idea has been to, the government is actually supporting a lot more work in a lot of ways, and in India is supporting a lot of work. What is happening here is we are making more things in India. We're making more things, and I think we've heard about defense, we've heard about semiconductors, more production is happening in India as we speak. We're also building more technical workforce, engines, industrial machinery, transmission networks, transformers. All of this stuff is being, instead of importing them, we are actually starting to make in India. Government is giving a bit of an incentive to do this to PLI as well. We are using this make in India concept as part of an investing, saying whoever is making in India will profit. But we are also spending more in India. आप कहीं भी एयरपोर्ट में जाओ, एयरपोर्ट लगता है कि बस स्टैंड है. It is phenomenal. It is phenomenal because you're seeing tourism. You can't get a hotel anywhere. In the hottest of areas, you will not find a hotel. In Goa in the summer, कौन जाता है गोवा समर में? Apparently everybody goes to Goa in the summer. I was just there 2 weeks back. वहाँ भी crowded थी, वहाँ भी traffic jams है. So India is spending more in India. Now, of course, they're going outside also. But I'm saying that within India itself is spending more in everything, in brands and so on. And then लोगों के पास अब इतना पैसा होने लगा है कि not only are we spending, उससे जो पैसा बच रहा है, we are investing in India. We are actually seeing more flows. FIIs ने 1,80,000 करोड़ 2022 में निकाले. हमें तो पता ही नहीं चला क्योंकि Indians ने डाले 1,80,000 रुपए वापस in SIPs, in mutual funds, in stocks, in stock markets and so on. This has changed almost everything dramatically. So I think the next decade is a lot about what India is going to be. I think we are going to see a massive change, and I won't go through all the trends here, but I think we're in a great position in the next 10 years. We're going to see superior returns from markets, from the economy, and whether you are an investor in the market or an investor in your own business, the next decade is yours. Thank you so much. It's great to see you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shinoy. It was indeed amazing and very motivating. Next 10 years is all ours, of course, for the nation, India's. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now the time for another presentation, and I would like to invite on stage Mr. Iqbal Singh, the founder and MD, Innovative Financial Management, to deliver his presentation on unlocking valuation. Ludhiana to BAC.
मैसेज चाहेंगे कि हम भी आपके बिजनेस में आपके साथ ग्रो करें, कभी पब्लिक में आना, पब्लिक में लिस्टिंग करवाना, कोई कंपनी का आपका कोई विचार है अभी तक?
हाँ जी, अभी तो काफी है, हमने मुट्ठी भर जमीन, सारा आसमान अभी बाकी है। जरूर कोई भी अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी आएगी तो उसे जरूर अवेल किया जाएगा।
तो आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट कैसे देखते हैं आप? कैसे, किस तरह से देखते हैं आप?
इन्वेस्टमेंट में हम लोग अभी वी आर न्यू टू दिस फील्ड। इन्वेस्टमेंट में आपका एक्सपर्टीज है, अच्छा एडवाइजर हो तो इन्वेस्टमेंट अपने आप अच्छी हो जाती है।
एक्सपीरियंस कैसे रहा हमारे साथ?
हाँ जी
8 साल का।
देखिए, आपके पैशन और आपकी एनर्जी से हम हमेशा से बहुत इंटरेस्ट रहे हैं, बहुत प्रभावित हुए हैं। बिल्कुल बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस था, बड़ा अच्छा तजुर्बा रहा, यही है।
आज के एंटरप्रेन्योर को और यूथ को आप क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे? बिकॉज यू आर अ यूथ आइकन फॉर नॉर्थ इंडिया।
थैंक यू सो मच। मुझे मेरी उम्र और तजुर्बा इतना नहीं है कि कोई मैसेज दे पाए, बट जहाँ तक एक मैसेज की बात करें इकबाल जी, मुझे लगता है कि सबसे पहले हम खुद को पहचान लें, अपने को जानना चाहिए कि हमारा स्ट्रेंथ है क्या। उस स्ट्रेंथ की डिटेल में जाना चाहिए। जब तक हम किसी चीज का डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे तो क्या हाफ हार्टेड ट्राई रहता है, आप गलतियां करते हैं बाद में जाके। उसका डिटेल में जाएं, उसका एक पायलट रन कर लें, पायलट रन से गलतियां कर लें, और उसके बाद फुल फ्लैश आप अपने आइडिया को पूरी कन्विक्शन के साथ आगे लेकर आए, और कभी उससे घबराना भी नहीं। कहते हैं बाद हवा से मत घबरा है उगा बोलते हैं चीन को, वो जब हवा उल्टी चलती है वो और ऊंचा जाता है। तो बाद हवा से मत घबरा है उगा, ये तो चलती है तुझे और ऊंचा उड़ाने के लिए। तो गलतियों से घबरा, आप पायलट रन कर लें, अपनी जो बेसिक गलतियां होनी है बोले, उसके बाद नहीं घबराना। यही है कि खुद पे बिलीव करें और चलते चले। कंट्री कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है, आप कंट्री के लिए कुछ ना कुछ कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट कीजिए, अपनी सोसाइटी के लिए कुछ ना कुछ कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट कीजिए। भगवान ने इतना अच्छा जीवन दिया, ईश्वर ने जीवन दिया है, उसको देश के लिए, लोगों के लिए, मानवता के लिए कुछ दे दीजिए।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
सत श्री अकाल सारिਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ। मैं इस शहर तो नवा नहीं हैगा, क्योंकि मैं HDFC बैंक 'ਚ अपना कैरियर शुरू किया एज अ फाउंडर, तो उस तो बाद इस रीजन ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ आई वाज हेडिंग सिटी बैंक। HDFC बैंक ਨੂੰ ਵੱਡਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਡਿਵੀਜ਼ਨ 'ਚ। ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨਾਲ I was part of the founding team member with HDFC bank private banking when we started, and after that I joined Citibank. I was heading North India. In 2004 I left Citibank and started my own company, which is innovative consultant, and then translated to innovative financial management. So ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ, ਮੈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਇਆ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਊ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ 15-16 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਨੇਜ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਟ੍ਰੈਜਰੀ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਊ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਘਰ ਆਣਾ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਣਾ, ਤਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਟੀਮ ਆਈ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ JR ਸਿੰਗਲ ਈਸਟਮੈਨ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀਜ਼ आई थिंक 4000 करोड़ ਦੀ ਟਰਨਓਵਰ ਹੈ। Your relationship has gone beyond the family. You know, you are like a family and extended son. So anyway, thank you very much. ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸੰਜੀਵ ਜਨੇਜਾ ਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੀਮ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ, ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਫੰਡ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਮੈਨੇਜਿੰਗ ਆਲਸੋ ਦਾ PMS ਲਾਰਜ ਕੈਪ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟੇਜੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਏਰੀਏ ਦਾ, ਇਸ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਦਾ, ਇਸ ਏਰੀਏ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਰਦ ਹੈ ਮੇਨ, ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਇਸ ਇਲਾਕੇ 'ਚੋਂ, ਇਸ ਰੀਜਨ 'ਚੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਪਨੀਆਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢ ਸਕੇ, ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਵਧਾ ਸਕੇ, ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੱਡਾ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ, ਉਸ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ 'ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ। ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਡਨ ਫਿਊ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਵਿਚ ਇਜ਼ ਕਾਲਡ 4 E's: ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ, employability and entrepreneurship and enterprises। मेरा भरा आया ਸੀ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਆ, ਨੀਰਜ ਬਾਂਸਲ ਐਂਡ ਧੀਰਜ ਬਾਂਸਲ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ ਜਦੋਂ ਸ਼ਾਰਕ ਟੈਂਕ ਸੀਜ਼ਨ 2 'ਚ ਲੁਧਿਆਣਾ ਦੀ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਰੀਕੋਡ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਈ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰਿਜੈਕਟ ਕਰਤਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਔਰ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ। ਨੀਰਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੜੇ ਹੋ, ਧੀਰਜ ਐਂਡ ਸੀਰਜ, ਤੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਲੁਧਿਆਣੇ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਰੋਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੀਜ਼ਨ 2 'ਚ ਆਏ, ਐਂਡ ਵੱਡੇ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕੀਤਾ। ਐਂਡ ਨੀਰਜ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਜੀਨੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਕਾਲਜ ਤੋਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ, ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਇੰਜੀਨੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਕਾਲਜ ਬਠਿੰਡਾ ਤੋਂ। ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰਿਜੈਕਟ ਕਰਤਾ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਸਿੰਪਥੀ ਮਿਲੀ ਐਂਡ ਐਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਐਂਡ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਇਜ਼ ਡੂਇੰਗ ਵੈਰੀ ਵੈਲ। ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਅਲਟੀਮੇਟ ਆਬਜੈਕਟਿਵ ਇਹ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਐਂਟਰਪ੍ਰੈਨਿਓਰ ਜਾਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਐਂਟਰਪ੍ਰਾਈਜ਼ਸ ਖੜੀਆਂ ਕਰੀਏ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਚਲੋ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਗਿਆਨ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨਾ ਕਰੀਏ ਵੀ ਚਲੋ ਐਟਲੀਸਟ ਉਹ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾਮ ਤਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਚਮਕਾ ਸਕਣ। ਤੇ ਬਾਊ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਈਸਟਮੈਨ ਕਾਸਟ ਐਂਡ ਫੋਰਜਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਈਸਟਮੈਨ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਕਬਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਦਾ IPO ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਓ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਉਨੀ ਕੰਪੀਟੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਊ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਅਰਾਊਂਡ 4.5 ਸਾਲ ਇਨਕਰੀਮੈਂਟਲ ਕੈਪੀਟਲ ਐਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਡਿਪਲੋਏ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਆਪਰੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਐਫੀਸ਼ੀਐਂਸੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੰਪਰੂਵ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਸੇਲਸ ਐਂਡ ਮਾਰਕੀਟਿੰਗ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਇੰਪਰੂਵ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਰੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਲੈਣੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਔਰ ਵਿਦ ਦ ਗ੍ਰੇਸ ਆਫ ਆਲਮਾਈਟੀ ਅੱਜ 100 ਕਰੋੜ ਦਾ ਓਵਰਆਲ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਾਟਮ ਲਾਈਨ ਪ੍ਰੋਫਿਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ IPO ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸੋ the most important thing for any business is basically unlocking the value of the business, the generation and generations we are doing the business. So growth capital, enabling credibility and public profile, increase market valuation, increase shareholder base, attract and retain talent through ESOP, long-term sustainability, proper division of family businesses। कई वहाँ family business की गल की है रेगो जी ने ਵੀ ਓਕੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਜਾਪਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਰ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਚੋਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸਸਟੇਨ ਫॉर ਮੈਨੀ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ, ਪਰ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 10% ਹੀ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਤੀਸਰੀ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ। Succession planning for business continuity and liquidity to current shareholder. These are the few of the issues we have to talk about and how we have to enable businesses. Then if you look at ਅਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ last year we did Jina Seekho। तो जीना सीखो ਅਸੀਂ ਅਰਾਊਂਡ 220 ਕਰੋੜ ਦਾ IPO ਲਿਆਂਦਾ, ਅੱਜ ਉਹਦੀ 2500 ਕਰੋੜ ਦੀ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਕੈਪ ਹੈਗੀ ਵਿਦ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਫਿਟੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਦਿਸ ਈਅਰ ਵਿਲ ਬੀ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ 100 ਕਰੋੜ of the business. They are not coming and Surjit ji बैठे हैं, the CFO of Casting, he is handling the portfolio and let me share with you in the wholesale whatever the brand they have sold, they have not taken their land or property or machine, they have only taken the brand, they have only taken the in slum sale in Casting case they have only taken the brand value. So what I want to share with you is, and I am telling with most of my SME customers, don't keep any asset in your balance sheet which is non-operating or which is not contributing to your business. It is going to hurt your business. It will not allow you to unlock the value of your business. This is the most important slide and I would like to spend, I think my time is almost over. Digital business transformation framework. Everybody, we have to see that where our organization is today at this stage. And these are the metrics we have to measure in terms of organization change versus AMPS, analytical application, mobile application, platform and social media, from low to high and organizational change from low to high. So we have to see whether we are in a first phase, number 1, going digital, doing the basic right. Strong e-commerce capability, we are in the second phase where AMPS is very strong and organization change is happening, and third is basically building for the future, which is the third phase, and last, which is where everybody should look at their businesses or company in the fourth phase, which is digital business capability, where you have a global transformation journey, and and it is not possible without the organization structure, without the right set of people, and without the right set of skill. These are the three most important things if you have to accomplish this kind of a structure. But anyway, because of paucity of time, I have to quickly rush. So I have some social impact is we are working on 4 E's: education, employability. Today we are in because I have a strong correlation with Punjab, so now we are already producing more than 200 and 250 people every month in employability in banks. from Mohali campus. And because that is the biggest challenge in terms of unemployability, we are doing that. Entrepreneur, we are actually promoting entrepreneur because I am founding member with the Punjab Angel Network, and we want that more and more entrepreneurs should come. And definitely we would like that more SMEs come from this industrial town because the number is very, very pathetic. So this is our family office, IFM family office, where we are providing all those services. And let me introduce my team. Anand Lakhotia ji, who's a chartered accountant and SRCC from SRCC. He did 50% of SME IPOs, DRHP, and he worked with EY, and now he is handling our daily office on investment banking side. Sandeep Jain, he's again chartered accountant, running very successful auditing firm for all FMCG companies in India, and at the same time running agri-business. Then my PMS team here, Aishwarya Sharma and Vishal. Navdev has recently joined, Navjot has recently joined here. He is from Ludhiana for our creativity work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Iqbal Singh. That was indeed amazing presentation, and I'm sure, the learning must go on. Ladies and gentlemen, as I already mentioned, that this conference was divided into 3 parts. The first part was the presentation by the industry top eminent speakers. That part is over, and now we are moving on to our next part, second part, which is the panel discussion followed by the question and answer. So before we start with the panel discussion, I would also like to tell you, this is an information I would like to share with you, that the snacks and the drinks would be served at your table, so you can sit and enjoy and of course experience the panel discussion. And for the panel discussion, I would like to invite on the stage all our eminent speakers, and along with that we have the CICU President, Mr. Kar Singh ji. Of course, to moderate the entire session, I would request Mr. Harveer Singh, the CEO, PMStimes. Ladies and gentlemen, Times Groups in association with CICU presents 4th edition of PMStimes Consonance at Ludhiana, sponsored by Media Fox. For the panel discussion, one by one, I would like to invite all our eminent speakers once again. Mr. Anil Rego, founder and CEO, Right Horizons, and along with him I would like to invite on stage Mr. Gurvinder Janeja, the founder, CEO, Fortuna Advisors. Along with him I would like to invite to join us on the dais Mr. Deepak Shenoy, founder and CEO, Capital Mind Wealth, and of course a very favorite from Ludhiana, Mr. Iqbal Singh, founder and MD, Innovative Financial Management. I would request also Mr. Harveer Singh to come forward and moderate the entire session. And I would also like to invite in the panel discussion the CICU President, Mr. Kar Singh ji. Thank you.
Thanks to all panelists who've been sharing their insights with all of us tonight. I know we did not allow any questions, but this is the time when you can actually ask all the questions that you've, that are pent up in your minds. To set the ball rolling, we'll start with a small discussion amongst ourselves, and you can raise your hands for any questions that you have to any of the panelists that we have here. So to begin with, Ahuja sir, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to bring together the entire CICU membership here, including you, this evening, and share the insights on markets and various subjects. Just to begin, set the ball rolling. सर, हम ऐसा इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स और हम मिलके ऐसा CICU के साथ और क्या कर सकते हैं जो लुधियाना को, पंजाब को और इंडिया को दुनिया के बिजनेस मैप पे और स्ट्रॉन्ग इम्पैक्ट छोड़ने के लिए किया जा सकता है?
ये जो इंडस्ट्री की ग्रोथ है 4M and 1 मैन मटीरियल मेथड एंड मैनेजमेंट, तो ये चार अगर हम 4M पे काम करें और SME IPO एक बहुत बढ़िया अपॉर्चुनिटी है SMEs के लिए। और मैं समझता हूँ कि CICU है जो 360 डिग्री वर्क कर रहा है। हम मैन पावर के लिए स्किल डेवलपमेंट पे काम कर रहे हैं गवर्नमेंट के साथ, जितने भी अनएम्प्लॉयड हैं उनको ट्रेन करके फैक्ट्री में जॉब दे रहे हैं। इसके अलावा मेथड के लिए अभी वी डू लॉट ऑफ program on technology upgradation, like on I think 5th of July we are organizing a program on world class content, so that we try to bring the best practices to that, so that I think we have 500 youngsters. We have a young business leader forum where youngsters, those who join business, they are part of that team because they want to grow, they are educated, they are you can say better enabled than their previous generation. So the same thing we tell them to make your own MNC rather than working for some other MNC. So I think we can do a lot of activities. SME IPO we can have a special program because after 2-3 you can say IPOs are much more than that. So many companies are now interested, and even on management also, we can do a lot. We run a program under the name of Growth Rater, where it is like a mini MBA for the persons who are already in business. So we do around 100 events in a year at CICU. So I think there is a long way to go. We try to strengthen the industry in Ludhiana.
Definitely, sir. It's a long way to go, and points well taken. Definitely, SME IPO is one way to proceed further and make an impact that Ludhiana so much deserves on the Indian and global business scenario. So, my next question, Anil, is to you. Yes. My next question is, Anil, to you. How do you identify so many multi-baggers? That is everyone out there who knows a bit about stocks or has been investing in stocks, F&O part of course, but anyone who's been investing into stocks is always looking out for a multi-bagger, be it a normal investor like me or a mutual fund manager. When we speak to, everyone talks of multi-bagger. What is the right way to identify a multi-bagger stock?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, by data, we have almost like 20 multi-baggers over the last 4 years. Okay? And what's a multi-bagger? Basically, a stock which can at least double. Right? We believe it's a simple thing. What we did was we had a lot of processes, and down the line we saw, okay, some companies were able to double or more. We said, okay, how do we make it a process in itself? So two things we do. One is we actually do a lot of financial modeling to see, can this company double their earnings over the next 3 years? That's the first part. If the company doubles their earnings over the next 3 to 4 years, you'll probably see the share price also double. Right? And the second thing is, of course, looking at PE expansion. So we also try to identify stocks which are at a lower valuation than the leaders. Okay, and who can also more aspiring and have the potential to get into the first league. Okay, so that has been a good journey. In fact, the last is also sometimes it's about patience. Okay, and it's as important not to get out early. Right? So We have one of the multi-baggers which has given 15x. Okay, but it's always tempting to get out at maybe 3x, 5x. We still hold it. Of course, we book profits on it, but you know that is something there. Yeah, some of them were good because we had something 2.8x in 7 months. Okay. But average, what we've seen is something like anywhere between 2 to 4 years, I think, is something that, and would probably go more than 2x is what I recommend.
Right, and that I threw the ball to Deepak now. We are talking of holding on to a stock even when it is more than 3x or 4x. How does one actually identify and stay put, or kind of resist the temptation of booking profits?
Very tough, very easy to say. Theory ठीक है, practice पे होता नहीं है. So my feeling is there are two things. There is a stock which I bought 900 रुपए में था, ABB से demerge हुआ था, called Power India. ABB had sold Power Grid business to Hitachi. तो हमने बहुत सारा कुछ किया, हमने कहा कि यार ये 4000 रुपए तक जा सकता है. अब 11000 रुपए, मैं 4000 रुपए मैंने एक्चुअली थोड़ा सा बेचा. मैंने कहा नहीं करता. It has reached where I wanted to go, and I sold a little bit. But now it is 11,000, and I'm holding on. The only thing that I know is I have never made. It has never made sense to sell purely for valuation. Purely because something looks overvalued is a wrong reason to sell a stock. The best reason, I think, if something fundamental has changed in the business to the detriment of the business, something where you need the money, जो भी है for personal people, maybe बच्चे को educate करना है, जो भी for other whatever reason, or if there is something you find that is better than the stock you have. I think unless any of these three are answered, you should not get out, even if the stock is trading at crazy levels, because then is when you get the 100 baggers. क्योंकि वो अब किसी को भी बोल दो, अभी वो फॉरवर्ड बहुत आते हैं. विप्रो में आप 1980 में खरीदते हैं तो फिर आप पता नहीं कितने करोड़पति हो जाते हैं वगैरह, लेकिन वो नहीं बनेगी. एक बहुत सॉरी आई एम गोइंग टू डिफरेंट स्टोरी, बट द स्टोरी इज लाइक दिस. समबडी आस्क्स कि सर आप सिगरेट पी रहे हो, तो आप कितना सिगरेट पीते हो? दिन में 10 सिगरेट पीता हूँ. तो उन्होंने कहा कि अच्छा, मतलब साल में इतने पीते होंगे, तो आप अगर पर सिगरेट आप 10 रुपये दे रहे होते हैं ऑन एवरेज, तो आपके 20 साल में आपने ये पैसा अगर इन्वेस्ट किया होता तो आपके पास फरारी होती है आज. तो उन्होंने कहा ठीक है यार, आपने बोल दिया, सही है, सही होगा. आप स्मोक करते हो? कहता नहीं. कहाँ है आपकी फरारी?
Can I ask?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स और PMS. ये प्लेटफॉर्म पे लुधियाना में मैं तो पहली बार कर रहा हूँ, आपने 4 टाइम पहले भी किया. सर मेरा आपसे क्वेश्चन है कि जो फिनोमेना है या जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है शेयर बाजार की, जुआ किसी का ना हुआ, ये जुए की तरह इसको माना जा रहा है, उसके ऊपर किसी भी एनालिस्ट ने नहीं आवाज़ लगाई. आपने जो डाटाज दिखाए हैं बहुत अच्छे थे. मेरे पास खाली एक टाटा मोटर्स है जो मैंने 98 में खरीदा था, तो आज भी पड़ा है, तो खाली वही है. बाकी सब स्टॉक जितने भी हैं सब HDFC खरीदा, नीचे चला गया. हमारा यूनिपार्ट्स 543 पे है, 575 पे अलॉटमेंट में नहीं है. बहुत सारे ऐसे शेयर हैं जो नीचे ही गए हैं. तो मेरा एक सवाल है, अब जब से म्यूचुअल फंड आया है, आई थिंक एवरीबॉडी विल एग्री विद मी, जिसने भी म्यूचुअल, अभी गौतम सर दिखा रहे थे मुझे, तो जिसने भी म्यूचुअल फंड में पैसा लगाया, ही हैज ग्रोन. वो कहते हैं जी 35% आई थिंक 37% विद इन 4 मंथ्स SBI का. तो ये चीज़ हमें कभी समझ नहीं आई, और बहुत अच्छी आपने डिस्कशन किया, लेकिन ये चीज़ पे बात नहीं हुआ कि कैसे इसको हम समझे एज ए इन्वेस्टर और स्मॉल टाइम, और जिसको ज़्यादा नॉलेज नहीं है. आपके साथ कहीं पे कॉन्टैक्ट नहीं, मैंने आपको कर लिया ट्विटर पे फॉलो, तो कहीं पे भी हमें ये समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि कौन से स्टॉक में जाए. तो जिसमें जाते हैं उसमें से मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम वी एंड अप लूजिंग मनी. तो जुआ किसी का ना हुआ, वो बात कभी समझ नहीं आई, ये शेयर बाजार की मतलब मुझे समझ आ रहा है। थैंक यू सो मच।
So I think quick response here कि ये शेयर बाजार एक्चुअली लॉन्ग टर्म में पैसे बनाता है। शॉर्ट टर्म में अगर आप 37% देखो 4 महीने में, आप इसका एक्स्ट्रापोलेट करके 37% इंटू 4 मंथ्स, मतलब और 3 महीने में 130%, आप वो करने लग जाओगे फिर तो फायदा नहीं होगा। लॉन्ग टर्म रिटर्न है 12 से 14% मार्केट का, उसके ऊपर जो आया वो बोनस है, और अब बोनस में ही चल रहे हैं हम 2 साल में ऑनेस्टली। लेकिन इसमें एक ही चीज़ है कि यू शुड वाटर द फ्लावर्स एंड कट ऑफ द वीड्स। मतलब जो स्टॉक आपकी अच्छी परफॉर्म नहीं कर रही है फॉर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम बिकॉज ऑफ whatever, you should get rid of those. But who are performing well, you should give them more water, you should give them, you should invest more in them because they will make you money in the long term. ये बहुत मुश्किल है, मैं बोलता हूँ लेकिन आप HDFC बैंक को आप मतलब आप सोच रहे हो कि 4 साल हो गए कुछ नहीं किया इसमें,
सबसे ज़्यादा लॉस भी उसने दिखाया,
उसी ने दिखाया। और फिर ITC 7 साल तक, वो तो हम हमारे मार्केट में मतलब हम कहते थे कि वो कैश की तरह है, आप उसमें जितना भी पैसा लगाओ वही रहता है, कुछ नहीं करता। और सडनली एक दिन वो हमारे मोमेंटम पोर्टफोलियो में आया, हमने कहा हम हंसने लगे यार इसमें तो लॉस नहीं होना है, चलो ले लेते हैं, जो कहता है ले लेते हैं। नेक्स्ट ईयर इट गेव 140%। तो कब आता रिटर्न आप प्रेडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते हो, लेकिन डिसिप्लिन के साथ अगर अच्छी कंपनी है देन लॉन्ग टर्म में रिटर्न्स विल कम। बस यही कहूँगा, लेकिन एक्चुअली ऑनेस्टली there are many ways to make money. If you are running your own business, many times it is better to make money.
That is need of the art, but no one is working towards that side. If you take my company, we have recently, because what Ludhiana wants, we want products that are high value, valuation is high, raw material is less. So like we tied up with the Japanese companies for making very high-end oils, so that we can add more value. But mostly this part of the country, we are making food products, but now the trend is changing. People are entering into new technology, better products are there, better technologies are there. But if you ask me about the percentage spent on R&D, it is very less. And even we are requesting the government, there are 2-3 big centers, bicycle and research center, then auto parts and research center, then Patala, there is a machine tool center, and they are supported with UNESCO, having ample of land. But they are not really doing the, you can say R&D work. They are just running their show with testing and calibration and these types of jobs. So we have to, if you compare India with China, the difference is everybody walks in one direction.
China is still a land of opportunity. As far as we talk about infrastructure, whatever we talk about, we cannot compare it with them. As far as they are very competitive.
We have to work together, central government, state government. I told the same thing to the
While sitting in a centrally air conditioned office and given the statement is quite easy. Go to the market, get ready to face the heat. Then you will be in a position to understand what's happening around. We are trying to make ourselves fools. We are sitting in a fool's paradise. I personally feel. If we talk about the technology, are we focusing on that? What kind of infrastructure we are going to create?
So
we need to take a
view,
benchmark on this.
In my view, it is not up to mark. Lot of things to be done, and we have to first we have to change ourselves. Then we can ask the other people to change. Enterprises, they are investing on machines, they are investing on land, they are investing on technology. Nobody is ready to invest on technology.
Yes.
Nobody is ready
That is the main
to
concern.
invest
It's a
on
main critical
any
factor.
good software. I tell you, we had a scheme, if you buy machine, CICU member buy a machine, he can get 1.5 lakh discount. And we have 40 new members, they want to buy machine. And if you see their balance sheet, you are proprietorship companies. So, मतलब
That I know, that I can
we have to
understand.
change our psyche first, then we have to.
That's what I'm telling.
Sir, I agree with you. We have to change our psyche. We actually have to give this scheme on a Tata or a Mahindra car in the first place to buy Indian rather than giving it on a German car.
Yeah, but I just want one thing to say that actually there is innovation happening. We come from Bangalore.
But long way to go.
Long way to go. But can you imagine a company in space technology, a startup today from India? I'll give you an example. There are companies like that. There are also companies like the other company we are helping, AI in drug discovery. Okay, which is cutting edge at a global level. I'm saying today there's an opportunity for both, and that's important for all of our business people. Rather than the Mercedes, we have to keep on seeing how do I improve. Okay, and it's okay, small improvement also will work, whether I'm getting some cash flow, whatever, how do I improve. I think that there is hope. Okay,
I'm not like we are capable of doing this, but as far as the mindset is concerned or psyche is concerned, we are still like
Right. So we'll take this discussion over dinner after that. I think Sujit ji ka sawal beech mein reh gaya tha. One part was addressed, the other was not addressed. Which of you would like to take this?
So the market, whether you should sell or not, my feeling personally is wait till the budget. I don't think any government will come in and say ये अच्छा कर रहा है इसको रोको. शायद ये हो सकता है कि the government will spend in different ways, but I don't think they will put a stop to what is working fast. So even whether small and mid cap अगर है, small and mid cap से ही large cap बनता है. अगर आप opportunity दो तो, I think opportunity is the thing. They will not reduce, for instance, defense indigenization. They will continue. They are like, because कोई कल को अगर war हो गया, हम dependent है foreign country पे, तो fight तो होगा ही. That's a political problem. So you will always continue to say indigenize your defense. You will continue to say railways में improvement करो, क्योंकि हमें और passenger trains चाहिए. We want less of this thing. So I don't think the SMEs or even the large caps, the momentum they will slow. They would say कि थोड़ा सा tax बढ़ाएंगे एक जगह, क्योंकि हमने हटाते हुए नहीं देखा है easily, not so many times. But hopefully it will be industry positive. Maybe it is some other sector even more positive, but I don't think it will be industry negative. My feeling. So it doesn't make sense to sell in advance. अगर कुछ गलत करते हैं तो शायद 10% हम हो जाए. I mean, it's only the first 10%, but maybe not. Not yet. I think election के बाद ही पैसा will come.
Yes, sir. So the two risks that this government will have to address, whether it's this budget now or the next year's, is one is how to generate jobs. Because GDP growth and job growth are completely on different levels. Second is this rural consumption is really falling behind. And if it is not addressed as soon as the government can, budget is a good time to do it, then in the middle part of this government's tenure we may see problems. So we see possibility that they will do some adjustment to the budgetary maths, but because the fiscal situation is very strong in India still, deficit is in control, inflation is within a range, not completely in range, but within a range. Current account deficit is still under control. The government has the space to do a little bit here and manage their political constituency. We expect that kind of a change, but let's see, as Raji said, just a month ago. No fundamental changes we would expect, but some adjustments to these two core problems, rural consumption and jobs, should come, might come.
I don't think elections, after the elections, are actually positive. Because earlier there was talk that they would increase tax and all of those things. Suddenly I'm hearing maybe they'll increase the tax slab. And populist is too early. If any government in its first year does populist measures, they are stupid. Okay, they should do it in the the last 1 or 2 years, we saw Ram Mandir didn't even have an impact for a few months, right? And they thought it would. So the public memory is short. I don't see any of these measures right now. Because I think the things that they would have done negative, I think they wouldn't do it.
Good evening everybody. जैसा कि आपने कहा, you need a good driver for your finance too. How to select that driver? सभी के फिगर्स बहुत अच्छे हैं, सभी के फेसेस बहुत अच्छे हैं, सभी के सूट्स बहुत अच्छे हैं. How to select that? As a layman, I don't know. That's true.
Sir, I think you are a seasoned wealth manager. I think answer has to come from you.
सर ऐसे है कि हर बंदे की अपनी एक स्ट्रेंथ है जिस एरिया में वो काम कर रहा है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपको ये देखना है कि आपका प्रोफाइल क्या है. आपने अगर इन्वेस्ट करना है, आपका प्रोफाइल क्या है. बिकॉज एवरी, जैसे शिनॉय जी ने बताया कि मार्केट में हर तरह का बंदा पैसा बनाता है और हर तरह की अलग अलग स्ट्रेटजी है हर बंदे. ऐसे नहीं है कि कोई बंदा पैसा नहीं, बिकॉज इट इज़ बेसिकली यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग एंड बाइंग एन एसेट. You are making money, so depending upon what is your risk appetite, what is your preferences, what style which suits to you best, what kind of risk adjusted return you are comfortable with, because every strategy is making money. So the bottom line is that everybody is chasing to create an alpha over a longer period of time. So मैं आपसे एक सिंपल सी बात शेयर करता हूँ कि when we talk about Sensex or Nifty or whatever, when we talk about Sensex, we are talking about a compounding annualized growth rate of 16 to 17%, irrespective of whatever has happened in India in the past 30-35 years. So the point is that it always depends upon what kind of a temperament you have. So the point is you can stack from ETF, because ETF is giving you 16.5% return from the last 35 years. When we talk about Sensex or Nifty. So depending upon your risk appetite, you can gradually increase your risk. You can look at the fund managers, because the track record is the most important thing. What is your track record, and what is the kind of track record, at what expense net you got the return in the portfolio. And last but not the least, again, I have already shared in terms of सबके सूट बड़े अच्छे हैं, because आज की डेट में every information, because the regulator is monitoring it very closely, and this space has become very big, because when we started in private banking in 1999 in HDFC, we don't have any PMS holder. We were selling at that particular point in time. So in the last 3-4 years, you have more than 400 PMS AIF available, and there are platforms like PMStimes. They are helping you out in terms of which data, which fund manager you have to choose, depending upon preferences. And apart from that, there are also other platforms available in India, like PMSbazaar.com, which is also, people are looking at it, what is their style, how they work, how they have delivered, what are their track records. All those things you can see, and then see which thing suits to the best according to your temperament.
सर तुझे कोई स्पोर्ट्स वगैरह से जस्ट करते हो?
Another सवाल का आंसर हो गया नहीं है. Just give us 1 second. Sir, I just say one thing. जो ये प्रोग्राम शुरू हुआ तो मेरे कोलीग वरुण पाल ने एक छोटा सा प्रेजेंटेशन रन किया था, जिसमें एक सिंपल सा जो मैसेज कन्वे किया था हमने. That was your question is कि how to identify the right advisor. हम ये कहते हैं कि सर आप एडवाइजर ढूंढो ही मतलब, आपने क्या ढूंढना है? सोल्यूशन. आप प्रोडक्ट ले रहे हो या सोल्यूशन चाहते हो? That is the first question that you need to answer yourself. And anyone who's selling a product to you is not the right advisor for you. The one who's giving you a solution is the right advisor for you. आपको जो आपके लिए जो जरूरी सोल्यूशन है वो हमारे पास लोग आते हैं, 128% का रिटर्न दिख रहा है, उसमें पैसा डालना है. His age is 80. He's going into a small and micro cap fund. My conscience does not allow me to take him to that kind of investment. सर आप 80 साल कल वो 70% नीचे हो सकता है और शायद आप निकल भी ना पाओ, 30% भी ना निकाल पाओ। तो मेरे लिए सबसे आसान काम होगा कि मैं आपको 128% वाला रिटर्न वाला फंड दे दूँ, लेकिन अगर वो आपको सूट नहीं करता तो कल आप डंडा लेके मेरे पीछे भाग जरूर रहे। So you should be looking at someone who's giving you solutions and not giving you a product. That's what we stand about. That's what we stand by. Sir, आपका सवाल।
All right, we'll take last 3 questions. So please continue.
अगर हमारे रिटर्न्स अच्छे हैं, क्या हम अगर रिटर्न्स अच्छे आ गए, क्या हम हनी ट्रैप में नहीं फंस
That's an interesting word that you use there, used usually for scientists, but we can take that offline, sir.
लोग कोई स्टॉक बाय करते हैं, टेक्निकल से वगैरह देख के स्टॉक बाय करते हो, उसी जगह रेजिस्टेंस है, सपोर्ट है, मतलब किस टाइप का स्टॉक बाय करते हो, या कोई तरीके हैं?
सर इतना है सारी आवाज़ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਤਿੰਨ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇਖੀਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਸਟਾਕ ਬਾਈ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟਜੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟਜੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਦੈਟ ਇਜ਼ ਦਾ ਫੰਡਾਮੈਂਟਲ। तो ਅਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਫੰਡਾਮੈਂਟਲ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਫੰਡਾਮੈਂਟਲ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਅਸੀਂ ਟੈਕਨੀਕਲ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ 3 ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਐਨੀਮਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਇੱਕ ਫੀਅਰ, ਇੱਕ ਗਰੀਡ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਇੱਕ ਹੋਪ। ਤੇ ਅਲਟੀਮੇਟਲੀ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੂਵਮੈਂਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਰੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ। ਉਹ ਕਦੇ ਲੈਫਟ ਸਾਈਡ ਸਵਿੰਗ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਕਦੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਸਾਈਡ ਸਵਿੰਗ ਹੁੰਦਾ। तो अल्टीमेटली कभी भी शेयर प्राइस अपने राइट लेवल पे नहीं होता कि कभी अंडर वैल्यू होता है, कभी ओवर वैल्यू होता है। तो अल्टीमेटली टेक्निकल जेडे स्केल है बिकॉज मैं HDFC बैंक वास्ते 4 साल टेक्निकल न्यूज़ लैटर लिखी है। एक आग आती सी और 4 साल लिखी है फॉर द बैंक ट्रेजरी, वो सारे थां पर जाती सी। असी तो बिल्कुल टेक्निकल एनालिसिस देखते हैं फंडामेंटल तो बाद। और वो जो बिहेवियर अजकल जी सब तो वड्डी जी फाइनैंस है जी ज़्यादा स्टडी होती है बिहेवियर फाइनैंस। बिहेवियर फाइनैंस है मैं दसिया तीन बांदर सामना बहुत औखा है, होप नूं, ग्रीड नूं ते वो जो बांदर है वो टेक्निकल एनालिसिस सानूं दिखते हैं कि भाई हुणे मार्केट ओवरसोल्ड है, हुणे मार्केट ओवरबोट है। हुण जिवें सुरजीत जी ने एक शॉर्ट टर्म क्वेश्चन पूछा सीगा कि मार्केट तुहानूं की लग रही है, मैनूं मार्केट ये कह रही है कि बिल्कुल इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना 1 रुपया भी, भावें फंडामेंटल बहुत वधिया है, क्योंकि मेरी जी प्राइस है तो इंडीकेटर है वो आपस में डिसकनैक्टेड है। असी अपने पोर्टफोलियो 11% कैश से बैठे हैं। तो मेरे कहने का मतलब है कि असी सो मैं कहने का मतलब है कि किस लैवल पर लैने तो फंडामेंटल तो देखने को होगा, पर साडे लिए मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी की होती है कि तुहाडा किस प्राइस पॉइंट तुसीं लै रहे हो, वो बहुत जरूरी होता है कि तुसीं किस प्राइस पॉइंट पर लै रहे हो। वो सारा कुछ तुहानूं टेक्निकल एनालिसिस जिहड़ी है उसकी पहली असम्पशन है कि एवरीथिंग इज डिस्काउंटेड इन द प्राइस। ट्रेंड परसिस्ट एंड परसिस्ट फॉर अ लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। सो वो सारी चीज़ां असी डेफिनेटली नाल देखते हैं एंड बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली तुहाडी फियर एंड ग्रीड इज रिफ्लेक्टेड इन द टेक्निकल एनालिसिस। सो वेदर द स्टॉक इज ओवरबॉट, ओवरसोल्ड, एंड वी आर यूजिंग लीडिंग इंडिकेटर, वी आर यूजिंग लैगिंग इंडिकेटर्स, एंड देन वी विल टेक अ कॉल कि इहदे विच असी वी हैव टू बाय और वी हैव नॉट, वी शुड वेट फॉर सम टाइम। स्टॉक अच्छा है, वी हैव सिलेक्टेड द स्टॉक, but whether we should buy at this particular price point, that is definitely indicated by the technical analysis.
All right, the last question for the evening. Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, so my question is, sir, like डिफेंस सेक्टर में बहुत ज़्यादा हाइक बनी हुई थी, तो सर जैसे बहुत लोग डिफेंस सेक्टर में इन्वेस्टेड थे और PSU सेक्टर में बिफोर इलेक्शन। सर जैसे हमें एग्जिट पोल्स आते हैं तो उसमें बताया जाता है कि BJP गवर्नमेंट इज क्रॉसिंग 400 एग्जिट पोल्स के हिसाब से, तो लोग अपनी पोजीशंस और ज़्यादा बढ़ा देते हैं डिफेंस में, PSU सेक्टर में। बट जब रिजल्ट्स आते हैं तो बीजेपी की अपनी मेजॉरिटी भी नहीं आती, तो एकदम स्टॉक्स गिरते हैं 20-20%। सर इस केस में रिटेल इन्वेस्टर क्या करे जहाँ पे फंडामेंटल्स भी ओके हैं, टेक्निकली भी ओके हैं, पर एक इतनी सी चीज़ की वजह से उसका पोर्टफोलियो उस दिन 25% गिर जाता है, तो इस रिस्क को कैसे मैनेज करें? बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट लाइक रिटेल इन्वेस्टर कैलकुलेट नहीं कर सकता बिकॉज ही गोज बाय न्यूज़ एंड ऑल।
तो एक्चुअली एक जल्दी एक दिन की बात थी, अब 2 हफ्ते हो गए उसके, अब वो वापस 40% ऊपर हो गए। अब आपका सवाल दूसरा होगा कि क्या अब कितने ऊपर हो गए कि बेच दो, है ना? ये आई थिंक ये जो है ये इमोशन है मार्केट में। शॉर्ट टर्म में इमोशन होता है, एंटरटेनमेंट होता है, तो ग्रीन और रेड चेंज होता रहता है, आपको फीलिंग बहुत ज़्यादा आती है। और आप थोड़ा सा लॉन्ग टर्म में जाओगे तो असली रिजल्ट काइंड ऑफ स्टार्ट्स टू प्ले आउट। सो अगर आपको एक दिन में आप 20% का ड्रॉप नहीं ले सकते, देन द स्टॉक मार्केट इज नॉट द राइट प्लेस। कभी भी हो सकता है, 30% भी हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है। तो वॉलेटिलिटी तो जितना आप how much ever you can lose, only invest that much in the market, because ये मार्केट जितना देगी उतना ही लेके जाएगी इंटरिम में, लेकिन एंड में नेट रिजल्ट which has always been positive after 5 years, after 10 years. So I think that is the thing, don't look at one day.
Just a 10-second answer. So if you observe that day, the market dropped about 8%, several stocks dropped, 19-20 PSU stocks dropped more than 20%. That was the time to buy, not PSU stocks, but there were many companies that dropped for no good reason, because everybody was selling. That is the time that the portfolio manager holds cash for. अभी कौन-सी जी का 11% कैश है, हमारे पोर्टफोलियो में 32% कैश है। We are waiting for that day when the market falls. We deployed on that day more cash than we had not deployed in the last 6 months. उस दिन हमने कूद के पैसा लगाया, because our investments were ready, our price points were not there. The moment we got those price points, we invested. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, that time will tell. But as Deepak ji said, if you're not willing to take loss for a day, rather not make use of that loss. It is a good opportunity. Why is it a loss? If you have cash, you should invest more if you have conviction in your ideas. And look at where the market is already. I'm not saying it's the right level, but 2 weeks later, the market has more than recovered. I'm not saying it's justified. But this volatility is what gives people like us the opportunity to make money for our investors. It is not a loss, it is a way to make profits. That's how we do.
मैं आपको ना एक चीज़ ऐड करना चाहता हूँ जो आपने बोला है। तो वन ऑफ माई एनालिस्ट वो डिफेंस स्टॉक को देखता है, मिस्टर जतिन गुप्ता। तो वी वर फाइंडिंग कि हमें ना ये 3-4 स्टॉक में से वी आइडेंटिफाइड कि हमें BEL लेना है, लेट मी शेयर, बट इट इज मूविंग वेरी फास्ट। तो तेल भाग रहा था, तो हमने रडार में रखा कि इसको लेना जरूर है, जब मौका मिल जाए। But we were also looking at कि most ये 321 पे नहीं लेना, and it has moved so fast. So what happened is when the result came, it dropped to 230 rupees. तो उस दिन हमने भर के लिया उसको। मेरी डीलर यहाँ बैठी है, हमने 270 पे भी लिया, हमने 260 पे भी लिया, हमने 250 पे भी लिया, हमने 240 पे भी लिया, and this is just 10 days away. आज 310 का भाव। So what I want to share with you is that if you have done a homework well, you have identified the stock, and technically कभी आपको मौका मिल जाए उसमें, और वो मौका मिला। दूसरी बात which I want to share with you, जो सर दीपक जी बोल रहे हैं कि आपने वो जी चलो ये मैन्युफैक्चर्ड था, ये डिजाइन था, इलेक्शन आउटकम एंड एक्चुअल रिजल्ट कुछ हो रहा है। आप कोई भी स्टॉक उठा के देख लो, जो भी थीम चल रहे थे, they are already at a original price and even higher than whatever the price they were quoting before the verdict, the actual verdict से पहले जो quote हो रहे थे वहीं घूम रहे हैं। So first of all you have also to decide कि आप speculator हो या investor हो, and if you are investor then it doesn't matter, these blips won't matter, and if you can't take 30% drawdown in equity market then definitely this is not the market to be.
Perfect. I agree with Iqbalji, and one word answer to your question is quality. Stick to quality, कुछ problem नहीं होगा. Thank you everyone. I think the panelists have been extremely kind to take all the questions. Let's take more questions over dinner and drinks, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harvey. Thank you very much for being such a wonderful moderator. And now, of course, it is the time for the felicitation. I would request all our eminent speakers to remain on the stage. So I would request them to be back once again. Mr. Anil Rego, Mr. Gurvinder Juneja, Mr. Deepak Shenoy, and Mr. Iqbal Singh. Along with them, I would request Mr. Harveer Singh and Mr. Varun Pal to join us on this stage. And this is the time for the felicitation, and we are really very privileged to have our felicitated members here. And the categories that we're going to be announcing. First and foremost, business leader, and we'll be doing the felicitation to Mr. Upkar Singh Ahuja, CMD, Newsland Group. And I would also request Mr. Ahuja to stay back on the stage. I would request to concentrate on the next title that we have is the business leader, and the name is Mr. Honey Singh, MD, Abhigyan AB Steels Private Limited. Zoro ki taali ho jaye, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going to be felicitating for the Knowledge Hub. And I would like to invite on stage Dr. S.B. Singh, the CEO, Taran Industries. Alright, I would now like to invite Mr. Ajay Bharti, the CEO, Launchpad FinServe, for the backbone of industry, to receive his memento. I would now request Mr. Ahuja to please hand over the memento to Mr. Gautam Malhotra, CEO, JAG Certification. For the title Business Leader, I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Sarjeet Singh, proprietor, MAN International. And I would request Mr. Ahuja to do the honor, please. I would now request Shri Anil Rego sir to do the honor, and I would request Nirabjit Singh from JU Industries, the business leader, to be on the stage and receive his memento. Now we have in the list Mr. G.S. He is the MD Uran Media and Communication. Please give it up for Mr. G.S. Dano. I would request Mr. Gurvinder Juneja ji to now felicitate Private Limited. our young entrepreneur. Belmont Industries, Mr. Deepjot Singh Sethi. And I would now like to invite the felicitation, Mr. Jaspreet Singh JP. I would also like to invite on stage Mr. Sablo from Metro Tires for the felicitation. Alright, I would request all the eminent speakers and the dignitaries to be on the stage for a group photo opportunity. We had absolutely a wonderful audience. Thanking Mr. Harbir Singh, the CEO of PMStimes, Mr. Upkar Singh Ahuja, President CICU, and I would request all the gentlemen to please take their seats. Thank you. Mr. Varun Pal, founder PMStimes and Simplifizer, CICU. Along with that, the entire event has been organized and managed by Babycon Events, who works in all over India. You have been a wonderful audience. Also, I would request if you have any questions related to the financial details and you want to have any question that you want to ask to our speakers, this is the networking dinner. Dinner is open for sure. You will definitely have a one-to-one conversation with the speakers and you can have all your queries solved here along with the speakers. Thank you so much. Have a great evening and hope to see you